Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment.
Wow. Before we go ahead and talk about today's episode, the recent episode of the Real House of Potomac, I'm just gonna say this and put it out there. I feel like Potomac has lost the plot line. They have seriously lost the plot line. They have lost me, and I find myself struggling to keep on watching the show. It's not fair to me because I feel like most of us will watch these reality TV shows, we watch movies, we watch reality TV shows to get an escape from the reality of our lives. I don't want to be watching a movie then coming out looking more depressed or looking more pissed off, looking more annoyed. Well, at the end of the day, this is what RHOP is doing to me because I literally did not enjoy watching the episode, and it's so painful.
I kind
So
of,
painful to me.
yeah, I kind of agree, because it just seems like they're just dragging it on, and like it doesn't, it doesn't really make sense. It's like they're taking a story and they're stretching it out to the bare minimum, and then putting little other things in between, so it's hard to keep watching, because you're not getting the full story. They're chopping it up and they're making you wait to the next episode. Then they give you a little bit and make you wait to the next episode. So I don't know what's going on with Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, they used to be a bomb show, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just mediocre.
I can literally do without it. I could do without. I can do with it ending, like go into season finale, go to the reunion, let the chapter end. When the episode finished, I think I had to go on Google to actually check whether we still had more episodes because we know most other shows on Bravo, like Might and Medicine, um, last next week's episode is their season finale. So I did think that the Real Housewives of Potomac it was also going to be in that season finale, but I didn't see anything like that was going to be the season finale. Oh my god. I don't know how. Truthfully, I'm just gonna put it out there. Nobody should be surprised. Nobody
Mhm.
should be absolutely surprised if by next week I say I don't think I'll be able to do the review or talk about it because it's a struggle for me to watch.
I can understand. I mean, they're not really giving you anything to talk about. It's the same old stuff. Same old
It's
attitudes. Nothing's changed. They're not evolving. They're still stuck in the same old, you know. So I understand.
like, well, let's not be a simple ranting. Let's actually talk about a little bit of things that happened in the episode. But before we go ahead, welcome guys to our channel once again. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like and comment. The more you like, the more YouTube recommends this video. Don't forget to comment your opinion and your thought about what we're saying on the comment section. Now, let's just dive into really what happened in the episode. The first thing was this conversation between Mia and Ashley. Like these are Ashley is one. No, I was watching the episode and I realized that Ashley has not brought anything to the table in the whole episode, and this is 13th episode in the season 8. And I tried to skim through episode one, and I'm like, what exactly did Ashley bring to the table apart from that Houston trip or Texas trip that she did host the ladies? But even with the trip, she was not the main focus. She was just the host. But
Right.
what else is there? What else did Ashley bring to the table? Nothing. She doesn't talk about Michael. She's vague about their divorce. What exactly is she bringing to the season? Why is she a housewife?
Yeah, I kind of wondered that myself. I mean, she has no storyline right now. I mean, her little messiness at the beginning involving Mecca, you know, that I guess was her little punch to the gut for us. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, she hasn't really bought anything. You know, I want to know what's going on with her and Michael's divorce. Are you guys getting divorced? I mean, how could she set a time limit on a divorce? I think I'll be divorced in a year. You know, divorce happens when it happens. If there's no children involved and there's no property involved, that takes like 6 months. you know Anything other than that is going to take maybe 2 years at the most. You got to come to some type of agreement. It's like, haven't you guys come to agreement yet? you know I just think she likes being under the protection and umbrella of Michael. Him uh helping her out and helping her with the kids, and maybe she feels that if she divorces him, that she's like out there on her own. So I just
Mm.
think she's just dragging her legs on this divorce. If it's over, it's over. Go get a job, support your kids, and get a divorce. Maybe that could be her storyline. How she navigates after Michael and the divorce. But right now she's stagnant, like stagnant water.
And now that you mentioned it, and that was according to what they spoke of in this episode when she was like, "How did your divorce, Michael? How you stuff?" Mia mentioned about the fact that Gordon said last week that they might not, if they get to the point of divorce, he will not give her a divorce, but they will just come to an arrangement that suits the both of them. Everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not divorced to Michael." When she gave her reason, when she said the reason why her and Michael have not really finalized their divorce, okay, I was like, okay, fine. I wanted to get the reason. Then she gave the reason as, "Oh, I still want to be financially stable. I want to get the things, I want to live this life. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to get my kids on the streets, like homeless and everything." I was like, so are you trying to say that the only way a mom can keep her kids sheltered, taken care of, is by staying with a man? Like, this is not the right lesson to be taught.
Right.
You can't tell me that the only way or a lady can keep a child sheltered, taken care of, healthy, is by staying by a man that has money, and of or like basically staying on divorce from this man so as to still be able to leech off him, for him to still be paying things for you, and you're staying in a divorce. You're stretching out your divorce for that reason. I felt like the producer shouldn't have brought that up, because for me, it was not a great example for me. For me, that sometimes I watch reality TV shows to get one or two things, when when they show things and you learn from the lessons they give you, or you make decisions by that, and you're telling me that, okay, sticking by a man is the only way I can live the life I'm supposed to live. So what happens to those ladies or those women or those wives that literally strive to make an income for themselves. Are they dumb?
I just think Ashley is a kept woman. She's never really done anything on her own. You know, she's not showing women of our culture, you know, hey, that I can make it. You remember me saying, hey, I've worked 2 and 3 jobs to support my kids, you know, and that's without being married, because that's how I am. That's how I was raised. I've seen my parents do it, and they were married, but I seen them do it. So I learned how to be self sufficient, you know? So I don't get it with Ashley. She has a platform and she's not using it like Melanie. Melanie, come on, look at how good she's doing. You know what I'm saying? She didn't stay in the
Mm-hmm.
divorce because, hey, he's gonna help me out. She said, bunk that. Let me get myself together, regroup and start me some businesses because I'm on this platform where, you know, everything that I do can turn to gold. Same thing for Ashley. Ashley's just not putting forth the effort because she's comfortable. I don't get it. When it's time for a divorce, it's time for a divorce. I don't care what you got. I'm gone. And if all I'm taking is the clothes on my back, then so be it. Because I know I'm gonna do better. So she doesn't have that inside of her. It's sad.
So is that what she's gonna teach her kids?
Yeah.
Is that the lesson she wants to teach her? Like I was literally disappointed in Ashley. Really disappointed. And I was like, that's not a great lesson at all. That's not a great lesson. And of course, like she doesn't have anything to offer to the show. She has not really been of any substance, since this whole season. So maybe it's high time they get out of the show. Maybe it's high time they get her off the show.
Yeah, because she's not really bringing anything.
Now, we had Michael and Candice having a chat about fertility, about the child stuff, and something did happen. She said she got a letter from her doctor, and she voiced her opinions that she was scared of all the things, because of her lumps in her breast and trying to start the IVF again. Probably it's not going to cause any hormonal imbalance that's going to literally stress out or cause more issues because of that. And I understand her issues. I understand her fears. But did you feel like Michael was not trying to be understanding of her situation, how she felt about it? Because one, it's her body. She knows how she's doing, dealing with all the issues every day. So do you feel that Michael was not kind of lenient or understanding of the situation and just, was focused on, let's try for a child. And that was the only picture he had in his head and he just focused on that.
I don't know. I'm just so tired of Candace. Honestly, she is so mean. My goodness. I hate that she's going through everything that she's going through. And he doesn't look, her husband, I can't think of his name right now. He doesn't look like he is supporting anything. He looked like he is basically kind of tired of being her manager, her issues with the other girls, you know, um, he's been involved with some of it. He just looks like he's just over it, And so to me, he didn't seem like he was supportive.
Yeah. I didn't feel that way that he wasn't. Even if I know Candice can be too much. But I feel like when it comes to this particular topic, I felt like he should have been more supportive, more understanding. This is a very difficult topic. This is a very difficult stage. So I felt like he should have been more supportive, irrespective of everything that is happening on the show, off the show, and everywhere thereof. So that was how I just felt in the scene when Michael and Candice were talking about the IVF stuff. Now, to the main topic of the whole season, the only thing that has been keeping the season going, the storyline of Nneka and Wendy. At this point, I'm just gonna say it. I feel like this is the most stupidest thing that has happened on TV. And the way they have stretched it, I remember ShopRite is saying that Nneka said the shoe would drop. I am still waiting for the shoe to drop. This is the 13th episode. When is the shoe going to drop? When are we going to get the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Is it at the reunion? Is it episode 14? Because if we look at the preview that was put out for episode 14, it doesn't look as if that is what is going to be happening. So what exactly are we going to find out exactly what is going on? Because this whole conversation, it made me look at the two of them. I'm Nigerian and I love the two of them, but the two of them right now looking like big dummies to me right now. Wendy and Nneka. That's how they're looking to me right now. Because what was this? Nneka came and asked for a meeting with Wendy for her to apologize for everything. And I thought that they were going to move forward. Instead, it ended up being more disagreement. Although, from my perspective, because I am sitting in between, and because I'm a Nigerian, I do understand what Wendy was saying, and I do understand what Wendy was feeling. And for Nneka's perspective, I do understand her own, but the fact that she knows my own thing will keep on being is she knows the ramification of what she said. She knows the ramification of what she said in a Nigerian home, in a Nigerian society, and it's like a stigma that sticks around. It stays. It's like you say the stuff and it stays. People go around calling you that. And that's why I said I understand. And when Wendy was like, you shouldn't have said that, knowing from the community we are, when you say those kind of things, the stigma stays even to the children of that person you are accusing. So you're not only accusing Wendy's mom, you are accusing Wendy, you're accusing her Wendy's children, you're also accusing Wendy's children. They will forever be seen as that. So for you to literally say it like that, is pissing off. I understand Wendy's point of view there. Then Nneka, of course, I will not be happy that somebody is out there praying against me in whatever shape, form, or likeness. I will not be happy somebody is praying against me. So I understand Nneka's point of view, but I will still say, as I always said from the beginning, this chart, this topic, this situation has never and would never be a thing to be talked on TV. This kind of thing is something that they could have gone on, to have a family meeting secretly away from the cameras and be like, your mom said this about me. Your mom talked about me in this way, and I didn't like it. I heard your mom was praying evil prayers against me. They could have talked about it in private. It shouldn't have been something that would come on TV. And right now, the both of them are looking like dummies. She is trying to prove her own point. Wendy is trying to prove her own point, and nobody's trying to tell us the real truth of the matter. The real issue is not coming out. So at this point, I am tired of the both of them. That is just my take on this Wendy and Nneka's issue.
I agree. I just feel like Wendy is she is jealous. She's beautiful though. You know what I'm saying? And she's intelligent. I don't get it. I go back into the youth thing. You know, Nneka's young. You know what I'm saying? Um, Wendy has lived, she's traveled, she's been on national television, more than once. You know,
Yeah.
um, she's rooted, you know, and she just felt, you know, like I said before, you know, somebody coming from her culture, stepping into her scene. She just felt like it wasn't no room for that because she was there. And she's already the queen from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
She's there, you know? So maybe they should have talked about it before Nneka actually came on the show, you know? And I do agree that they should have talked off camera about all this, because right now what it's showing me is Wendy doesn't know how to deal with her problems because she's always walking off. She doesn't sit back and have a conversation. You can't have a conversation if you're both of you guys are throwing darts. you know One needs to listen while the other one talks. And it wasn't none of that. It was like, well, you did this, well, you did that, but you did this, but you said that, but I said this and you said that. Like, okay. I'm just kind of tired of it, because especially after you told me what it was all about, how this is really damaging. This is a conversation that should have been handled off screen, knowing the culture, but Wendy is never receptive to anybody coming towards her. So I kind of knew how that meeting was going to turn out with Wendy walking away, especially if you're not in agreement with her.
Hmm. And I didn't understand why Nneka was crying. Why the heck was she crying
Oh my
after she
goodness.
walked away?
I don't know.
Why?
I didn't get that either.
Because you know what? You talk about, because I do understand. As much as I did not applaud what Wendy did, the walking out and like avoiding the issue, I'm not in support of that. I literally was like, Wendy, girl, please just sit your ass down and just listen
Yes,
for once.
exactly.
I never applauded that. But when Nneka was crying after she left, I was like, wait, babes, why are you crying? Because if this thing was happening in Nigeria, them like Nigeria home, like your home in Nigeria,
Right.
Wendy would have beaten the shit out of you.
Mm,
Yes, it could have been a full-fledged exchange of blows,
okay.
because you cannot sit down there, like you can't just sit down there and come up and announce that my mom is a witch and a practicing. You just can't do that.
Right.
We are going to have a big fight.
Mm,
And as Wendy said, you knew the ramifications. You knew what it was going to do. You know the stigma that comes with it. And she knows. She's an Igbo girl. She knows the stigma that is attached to that accusation. So I will say, and I will still say again, you know the stigma attached to that stuff. You should never, ever, even when you know how bad it is that you don't even say those kind of things. When you say it behind the cameras, it's that bad already. Talk more of when you say it in front of the cameras, calling someone's mom a witch, and you're now crying after. I was like, baby girl, just like how Wendy walked off without feeling any ounce of sympathy, you yourself to dry those tears without feeling an ounce of sympathy, because you decided to call her mom a witch. Whether it be true, whether it be lie, but you made that decision. Stand on your decision.
That's right.
And I believe that whenever you do something, be prepared to, because everything in life has negative and positive. So when you decided to talk about this on national TV, I believe Nneka should have been prepared that it might go two ways. It might not go in my way. It might go in my favor. She should have been prepared for that. And now you're crying. I was like, man, dry those tears, baby girl. Dry it. She's like, oh, and I wanted to be cordial. And the truth is, the part I fought Wendy was like, Wendy should have listened at least, just be like, okay, for the camera sakes, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But I'm gonna be talking like literally what I feel would have happened literally, because for me, I had something like that similarly happen when my mom was alive. I I got a call that somebody in the family was kind of labeling my mom in that bad light. The
Mm,
only luck, and I say it, the only luck the person had was that the person was in a different, because I traveled then, the person was in a different location than I was. I knew that if I was at home in Nigeria and Lagos and I saw that person, I was prepared to go to the person face to face and like, what effort proof do you have to call my mom that, and would have fought it out? And I didn't back down just because I couldn't see the person because I was away. They didn't stop me from taking up my phone, and I called the person and I said literally every single thing I felt and I wanted to say to the person, and it was filled of insult back and forth. Now
mm,
imagine that is what was done in behind closed doors. We have without the cameras,
mm,
right? Now
mhm.
you were saying this in the camera. You know. It's not like you don't know. That's the only thing I fought Neka with. You know, you were aware.
Right.
You know these things. So
Mm.
why go there? Why do you go there? Like it doesn't make sense to me. I still till today I still keep on telling myself, why did she go to that place? I told my sister that at this stage, I literally don't want any Nigerian on any reality TV shows anymore.
Right.
Especially when it's especially if it's a US TV show. Because they've been finding ways to make somebody embarrassed.
Mm.
One way or the other, we have those at Mind to Medicine, Alicia and her husband, literally Miss Miss. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the English. Representing everything about Africa and Nigeria. Then we have Neka that knows the ramification of something, but decided to go ahead with it. Now that you knew the ramification, you went ahead with it. Then deal with the problem that comes with it. Stand on business, like Melody will say. Like stand on your business. You know you've done it. You've done it. Why are
Right.
you tearing up that she doesn't want to listen to you? realistically, if not because it is Wendy and Wendy sometimes has been acting shady, but realistically, she knew that in a real world, not this TV world, in the real world, Wendy would never want to see her face again, not speak with her again.
Right.
So why was she crying?
Maybe she is crying because she feels like Wendy has a lot of influence on this show, and possibly her job could be at jeopardy. I mean, her whole storyline for the season, as we got introduced to her, was Wendy.
Yeah,
She didn't bring anything else to the table. We didn't get to
that's
know.
not Wendy's fault. It's your fault.
No, it's not Wendy's fault. It's not Wendy's fault, but I'm saying Nneka had no other storyline besides Wendy. So we never got to know about what Nneka, does feel, what she's going to bring to the show for herself. It was all about her entanglement with Wendy. So maybe she is crying because, hey, she feels like her job is in jeopardy.
Huh. Wendy, where? But I don't feel like Wendy has that much of a control on whether she gets kept on the show or gets removed from the show. I don't think she has that control. But anyways, whether she was feeling that scared of maybe her job is at loss, I felt like she should have done a better storylining because the truth is she has a lot of to offer. She's an attorney. She's just moving
Right.
in. She had the storyline with her husband of trying to get a child. They had so many things going for them that they could have really used and run along the whole season 8 of this show. But no. And I feel like the producers or whoever treated her badly because why would you tell her on your first season when this should be your storyline? It didn't help.
No, it didn't.
When we see a fresh show, a fresh face on a show, we want to see what you can bring to the table. If you're bringing drama, I want to see the drama and let it be drama that does not need it doesn't need to be dragging like 1 million people along. Bring it. Want to see you. Then would not love you and be like, okay, yes, this is why I love this lady. This is why I love this person. But you made your an entire introduction to the show, introduction to these women about Wendy. In other words, you in a way uplifted Wendy.
Right.
In a way, you made Wendy more important than you are. So it's not fair to Nneka herself. And if you check the chatter online, yes, a lot of people are in support of Wendy of Nneka. But if you check the percentage of support she has, rather to these people that are against her, it's not a fair ride.
Mm,
If it's 100%, like 20% support her, and the many 80 are against her.
mm.
So it goes to show that your first season was not great.
Right. I'm pretty sure the Nigerian community that's in America isn't really liking all this.
No, they don't like her. I don't think she also did herself any favor more in this episode again. Because we know that they went on those Robin decided to take the ladies to Dominican Republic, and there we got to see um Giselle and Robin decided to play the trick. I feel like Giselle and Robin are literally playing on Nneka, using her as a scapegoat. I'm just gonna put it out there. Because why the F would you crown her the grand dame. When you know that title was given by the fan to Karen, and it's the fan gave her that name. They love her. She does it very well. And you're giving it to Nneka that didn't offer anything the whole season. And she's like, oh, yeah, the crown is too light for me. You never even have a crown. This is Gizelle being messy. This is Robin being messy. And you, Nneka, as a scapegoat.
Yeah, I didn't really like that part.
How did you feel about the scene when they
I like
came into this place and were giving her the crown? Let me have the grand down.
yeah, I like Karen, and she is the grand dame. You know what I'm saying? Nneka just got on the show. You know, she, if anything, she deserves the crown of second messiest because Ashley's number one. You know, and as far as
Mhm.
Giselle and um Robin goes, oh, yeah,
Okay.
sometimes they act like they don't really like Karen. They just deal with Karen like she's just an associate, you know. And for Giselle and Karen to go way back, Giselle really act like she don't like her too much. You know, one moment she's like, "Oh, Karen, yeah, we're friends," and the next time she turns around, she's sticking a knife in her back.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why that is. You know, maybe she's just a little envious of the lifestyle that Karen does have with her husband. You know, because Giselle can't seem to keep a man.
I Nneka should stop allowing them to use her. It's not fair. She needs to stand her ground. She needs a unique thing for herself that will make people love her. What is this thing that Nneka has brought to the table that we say, okay, fine. We love Nneka for this. You came with the Wendy storyline, and we know we heard more of Wendy's name in your mouth than your own name or your husband's name or your business name or your future plans. We heard more of Wendy's name
Right.
from your mouth. Now you're receiving a crown for being the grand dame. Really? And you're rejoicing? You're like, oh yeah, I'm the grand dame.
You know, Nneka is just trying to get in where she fits in. You know, she knows trying to have a relationship with Wendy is definitely out of the question. You know, she tried it with Candace. Candace is a little standoffish right now because she's not going to do anything to piss Wendy off because she's battling with Robin still. You know what I'm saying? So Nneka, she's just kissing butt, just trying to belong to a group.
Yeah. But for how long?
To till they get tired of her.
Yeah. Robin and Giselle only do things that satisfy them. They're very selfish. How long will the friendship last? Is it until they turn against her? If Robin and Giselle should turn against Nneka, who will be exactly for her right now? Let's be
I
truthful.
don't
Look,
know.
look at the cast. If Giselle, at least Wendy has Giselle by her side. No, so Wendy has Candice at her side. She has Karen by her side. In short, Karen, Candice, and Wendy, they have each other as a support system. You get it? Now, if Giselle and Robin turns their back on Nneka, automatically we will see Mia and Ashley in cahoots too. So who exactly will be for her? I don't think she formed any genuine friendship.
No.
She did not form any genuine friendship that would transcend outside the cameras, behind the scenes, when you're back in your house after the whole shooting of the season. She didn't make any genuine friendship.
Right.
And that's where I feel bad for her. Because we know how this thing always goes. Next season there might be a flip of scripts. What will happen then? Anyway, she's gonna survive. She has survived to this extent. She's going to continuously survive at the end of the day. Is there any other thing you wanted? Is there anything with I think maybe we forgot that you want us to talk about? And actually, for me, this is where I kind of checked out in the episode. I think like for me, I have watched the whole episode.
No, I mean, I'm not really interested, in what's going to happen next week because I just feel like they're going to keep us hanging until the reunion.
Yeah. Still stretch out everything that happened to this episode. Stretch it out
Yeah,
again in the next episode.
exactly. I can't even remember what the next episode is supposed to be about. Do you remember? I
I
can't.
can't recall.
Yeah, me either.
Well,
That's how boring it's getting.
I guess we'll have to wait till next week to see what they have to offer. Probably to be better and we know what's going on. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. And don't forget to click on the subscription button down below to subscribe to our channel. We'll be back here next week to talk about all the shows we do. Don't forget to hang with us next week to talk about the shows. We'll see you guys next time. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.